Noticeably bigger crowds have arrived. The World of Color Bay at California Adventure looks more like a World of Color graveyard, and downtown Disney is about to get a new tenant. All this and so much more, let's go to Disneyland. What's happening, my friends? Wade for the Kingdom Report, hanging out with you once again, bringing you all the latest updates and news from the Disneyland Resort. That's right, it's our Disneyland update, and today it is all about the latest for the Halloween season, including increasing crowd sizes, and we'll get to that. But first, we start here in New Orleans Square, where we notice that Jack and Sally have decided to take refuge up on the Dream Suite balcony instead of the Haunted Mansion balcony where they have recently been. Looks like they moved them on over here for the sake of being able to access more people and see even more of their fans. Right next door at a shop just beneath the Dream Suite, you see here exclusive Haunted Mansion anniversary merchandise. These were going fast, very popular, and much of the merchandise in addition to this was already sold out. Of course, anything Haunted Mansion is hot, hot, hot. And speaking of the Haunted Mansion, we move across the courtyard area in New Orleans Square to notice that they are using all the free space on many days for the sake of extended queues and just trying to get people corralled to go into the Haunted Mansion itself. On especially busy days, it is not uncommon to see the Haunted Mansion Holiday go 60, even 90 minutes as a wait time. And then if Pirates of the Caribbean backs up, we see that even move to sort of a 40-minute mark, and crowds almost touch the Haunted Mansion crowds. Over at the Mark Twain Riverboat, we've noticed in recent weeks that accessing the top deck of the Twain has been inaccessible, and we asked about that. They shared with us that as the park day goes on, the crowds sort of pack in and more people want to ride the Twain, and therefore they only open up the top deck as things get busier now. Out onto the rivers of America we go, and you notice the work we've been monitoring in recent updates. Well, it looks like it's completed. In fact, no more opening, no more water stoppage going on here. The staging and platforms that they were working on for Fantasmic have been completely finished. Now the water is back where it belongs. Pelican's Landing, the new double-decker seating area right alongside Harbor Galley, is trucking along. Lots of digging going on here for the sake of rising up a two-story seating facility. Certainly not a ton of visible progress, just digging at this point. And right alongside of that, the sailing ship Columbia continues its dry dock work. In fact, we don't have a reopening date for the Columbia, just that it is getting touched up to look better for us in the future. And speaking of the Harbor Galley, it will be going under the knife starting October the 18th, getting a brief refurbishment and reopening November the 19th. So if you are going to miss all of your bread bowls and clam chowder, well, I completely understand these things happen to all of us. And up on Town Square, Main Street, USA, the Opera House and Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln have reopened after a couple of weeks of training cast members on the new Genie Plus service. Now inside, the Muppets have joined the Haunted Mansion exhibit. And yes, in fact, they do run the extended trailer for the Muppets Haunted Mansion film inside the Opera House just before Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. We move down to the other end of Main Street now, where the Main Street Photo Supply store, which has recently been vacated and PhotoPass has moved out to the Esplanade, is being made over right now into the new Plaza Point holiday shop, a year-round Christmas store that will be opening for all of us on October the 16th, so just around the corner, for some year-round Yuletide cheer. Over in Frontierland at the Zocalo Park area, they are celebrating Dia de los Muertos, where they often have a mariachi band playing throughout the day. This is in between the appearances that you see from Miguel from Coco. He often comes out here too and waves and meet and greets with guests, but in between, you get some lively music from the mariachi band. Right alongside that, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad remains under refurbishment at this time, reopening on November the 4th. We've noticed in recent weeks that all of the effects have remained on during the refurbishment, but have now been shut off, and it's just sadly a dead mountain at this point. From one mountain to another, the Matterhorn in Fantasyland has a space just across from it that's been dedicated to FastPass distribution for a long time. Well, they recently removed all of the machines for Genie Plus, but the signs still remain. In fact, FastPass distribution signs remain in front of almost all of the old spaces dedicated to the machines. And elsewhere in Fantasyland, we noticed that the lemonade stand, the frozen lemonade stand over here, happens to be open for the first time that we are aware of since Disneyland reopened. We've noticed it month to month that it has been closed up until now. Welcome back. And the Fantasyland Theater, which houses Mickey and the Magical Map, has remained dark since Disneyland returned, but the barricades in front of it have had a bit of an identity crisis in recent weeks, and we've noticed them in front of and behind the Fantasyland Theater marquee. Well, now they're all in front of the marquee, making it very clear that the theater is closed. And It's a Small World is now getting underway with all of the decorating that needs to happen for the sake of Christmas. Lots of light strands are being set up. And in fact, It's a Small World holiday install begins October the 25th, running through November the 10th. I do love myself the Pearly Band right alongside Mary Poppins and Bert. We move into ToonTown now, where we take a look at the construction going on outside of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Still just a few years away from this attraction, but lots of work continues on the exterior of this location. Mainly, bracing is being put in for the sake of installing external facade work. Can't wait to see things get more visibly appealing back here. And yes, Donald was out on his boat saying hello and quacking us right up. We move on over to Tomorrowland, where do you see what I see? Yes, the monorail is out testing like crazy right now. We are seeing the monorail on the track all the time at this point. We noticed a bunch of cast members that were also up on the platform last week. Well, even more are there this week, and everybody is training and riding around in this thing, getting it ready for a full return in the coming weeks. Over in Adventureland, Tarzan's Treehouse remains under wraps as it continues its unscheduled refurbishment. It looks like they have determined what's going on, and things will be reopening on October the 28th. Something to look forward to. Something not to look forward to is just how crowded it has been feeling lately inside the parks. You take a look at wait times, and while some seem quite reasonable, the crowding in general just feels a little suffocating at times. We haven't seen crowds like this in many, many moons, and it is something definitely to take note of, and we are seeing and hearing from you in our comment section that you are experiencing much the same even on weekdays. We move across the Esplanade to California Adventure, where crowds were a little more manageable in this park. However, it still can be tight on especially those days that have the Oogie Boogie Bash crowds joining the theme park mix-up at 3 p.m. Mickey was out on the Hollywood backlot stage wearing his Captain America gear, saying hello to everybody. And something we wanted to make mention of is that rumor has it the Web Slinger attraction, that's right, the Spiderman ride over in Avengers Campus, may be dropping the virtual queue option in the near future. Much like they've done with Rise of the Resistance out at Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World, it looks like this ride might be efficient enough and not having as much demand later in the day, where it might also join the ranks of Rise of the Resistance out east in just becoming standby in the later evening hours. Again, this is rumor right now, but we are seeing that movements are being made to make this happen. Across from the entrance of Avengers Campus, you'll notice an advertisement for the Blue Sky Cellar and Walt Disney Imagineering presenting Pixar Pier. Well, not only has Pixar Pier been open for many years now, the Blue Sky Cellar has been closed for many years. It had an exhibit in there basically showing you what was new and what was next with Pixar Pier, and then after it opened, it was kind of a retrospective. Well, now it sits dark. What would you like to see put in the Blue Sky Cellar? What exhibit belongs in here next? I think I'd love to see a little bit about Avengers Campus in this nook. I don't know about you. And the Pixar Promenade along the Pixar Pier area is home to many characters that meet and greet right now. Woody and Bo Peep from Toy Story out here saying hello. It was great to see them. Something not great to see, though, is what looks like essentially a graveyard now, and that is the World of Color Bay, where World of Color's infrastructure rests. They've completely drained the entire bay to work on the show. We've mentioned in many updates that this show is, I guess, just kind of left to rot by accident over the course of the pandemic shutdown, and now work has begun and millions of dollars has been spent to try and rectify the show. After all, it's a huge selling point for California Adventure not to have. You just notice how sort of unsavory everything looks without the water covering everything up in this area. But something new and nice just alongside World of Color Bay is the brand new Cappuccino Cart. They have now brought it out from behind the scrims and the walls, and now there is a whole new destination over here in which to enjoy a little bit of a caffeine boost. In fact, gourmet coffee is what it says. Joffrey's coffee being served in this location now, and yes, you can even mobile order it through the app. This place was hopping throughout the day. They even have a great breakfast burrito option and an afternoon burrito option if you are interested. We leave California Adventure and head across the street to Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel, where Ursula from The Little Mermaid has taken over the lobby area for Halloween. And, we've covered this in the past. It is an impressive setup, but it does little to compensate for the fact that there is no food and beverage option inside this hotel right now. Disney's PCH Grill within the hotel environment, which used to accommodate the character dining in the morning and the buffet at night, now with its doors closed and remains shuttered until further notice. And then the Surfside Lounge option, which was essentially your quick service environment and your coffee bar, also remains dead with no sign of life. The general store is the only thing open inside this hotel right now. Outside of that, if you are looking for any sort of dining option, yes, the posters remain. Go ahead and mobile order a snack or a meal from Downtown Disney. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you're paying $400 to $600 a night to stay at Paradise Pier Hotel, you might want to reconsider your stay. Over at the Disneyland Hotel now, where they do have plenty more dining options open, I wanted to make sure that we checked in on the construction work going on now for the Disney Vacation Club Tower, the new tower that is coming in just alongside the Frontier Tower. And we take a peek on over the walls here, and you notice just a lot of digging going on. You have some cranes and some various earth movers in here, and that's about it. Lots of pillars going into the earth because this sucker is going to have to rise up tall. Inside the convention center space we go at the Disneyland Hotel, where Steakhouse 55 signage remains, even though the restaurant is gone forever. And they basically blocked off the lounge for Steakhouse 55 here, and now you can't even access this area unless you work there. It's so sad to see it all completely barricaded at this point. And, you could even walk up to the front doors of Steakhouse 55 and see this old photo of Walt here. What do you think belongs in this space now that Steakhouse 55 has been retired? What do you think should go back here? I'd be interested to hear what you think your creative mind can come up with for a space like this. From the Disneyland Hotel, we jump into downtown Disney, where you see a new tenant about to move into the void left by... Yes, The Void, the virtual reality shop that vacated last year right next door to Sprinkles Cupcakes. In fact, Pelly Soccer is on its way. For the soccer fan and all of us, we now have a new store all our own. And my friends, that about wraps up this update. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch and listen. Make sure that if you appreciate what we do here, you are subscribed with the notification bell turned on so that you don't miss any updates as they come out, and hit that thumbs up button. It means an awful lot. For the Kingdom Report, I'm Wade Heath. We'll see you next time for another edition of the Disneyland Drop-In.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.